Another day, another dollar, another episode of Crunch Time. What's going on, everybody? We are in the studios of Austin Peay, giving you Crunch Time. Another week and another good day of talking sports. I am with the fellas today. I got Hugh Wheeler and Isaiah Norman. Long time no see, brother. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
You know, I didn't break the news. So I want you to break it. The reason why you ain't been on the show. So go on and break the news.
I wish I could zoom in, but you know, I got the ring, man. Your boy's officially a married man. Yes, sir.
Show it up one more time.
Officially a married man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise the Lord, man. I'm blessed, very blessed, man. I have a beautiful wife. She at home right now, miss me. I miss her too, but you know, gotta get the work done.
Yes, sir. Yes,
gotta
sir.
get the work done. But
Sports doesn't stop for weddings.
Oh man, but I've been good though, man. I've been good. As y'all see, I cut the hair off.
Yeah,
Brand new.
Cut the hair off. New year, new me. You feel me? So I'm blessed, man. I missed y'all though. I missed Crunch Time. I've been ready to get back to it, man.
Yeah, welcome back.
Yeah, man.
Glad to have you.
Hugh, how was the weekend? I know you got some big plans coming up for next weekend, so let's hear about it for a minute, brother.
Yes, last weekend was fun. You know, watching that Austin Peay was fun. We'll talk about that more in a minute. Next weekend, though, I am heading to Oregon. I am going to go watch the Civil War, Oregon versus Oregon State down there in Eugene at Austin Stadium. I am so excited for this.
Yeah, that's gonna be lit.
Yes, it's been a dream bucket list of mine to go to a Ducks game. So very happy.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
They're pretty good this year too.
Yeah, they
what
are.
I saw.
Yeah, so you know everybody got a good weekend, man. My weekend is it's pretty solid. My mom come down for my birthday on Monday. I'll be the big 2-4. It's the Kobe year.
Yes, sir.
It's the big Kobe year. Birthday on Monday, so the mom's coming down, frying some fish, some chicken, some spaghetti.
yeah.
Getting you right.
Hey, get me right, man. Got to turn the new year in the right way. So I'm excited.
Cornbread.
Nah, garlic bread, man. We got
Garlic bread.
garlic bread.
That's fair.
Garlic
That's
bread,
That's
man.
a decent substitution.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. She might do
absolutely.
the sticks, the garlic bread
okay,
sticks. She might get
yeah,
fancy with it.
yeah.
She might.
Oh, man.
So I don't really know. I'm gonna let her, take the ropes. I'm gonna let moms do what she do. She ain't disappointed in all 23 years, so I don't think she's gonna start number 24 on the wrong
haven't
foot.
chased her away yet.
Yeah, so
that's
I
a good sign,
think
yeah.
we're pretty good, y'all. But look, let's get into it, man. We got a good week. We're gonna start off with like some small news real quick. Just some small news. So, one of the biggest things I want to start off with is Austin Peay. Record-breaking student enrollment with 11,185 students enrolled, whether that's on campus, online, in the master's program, doctorate program. We have over 11,000 students, y'all. And then women's tennis hosts their first tournament of their season this upcoming weekend. They play at home. So if you get the chance to be in the Clarksville area, please come out and support the women's tennis. And then the men's side of tennis, they scored 8 wins in their doubleheader versus Oakland City on yesterday. I don't know the verbiage of tennis, but anything 8 wins on a single day,
right?
That sound pretty solid. But so it looked like we're trending in the right direction. Their season just really kicked off not too long ago. So, they're starting to post the hype videos all on Instagram and everything. But the biggest one I want to talk about quickly, y'all, before we get into this recap of Morehead State and Austin Peay, 11,000.
That's crazy.
11,000.
You can notice it too.
Post-COVID.
If you try to park on
Post-COVID.
campus, you could find all 11,000 of us somewhere in that parking lot. It is a time, ladies and gentlemen. But we love it. I'm glad that the school's expanding. It's good for business. It's good to keep growing the fan base and all of that. So it's very good, exciting stuff happening.
Yeah.
New clubs.
And what
are
we
coming.
don't see, he see on the way here.
Literally. Literally, for real. Man, coming off Fort Campbell, bro, that traffic is egregious, bro. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
But I will say, at the games Saturday, that crowd was deep.
It was deep.
And I'm looking, I'm like, we playing Morehead State. Yeah. Why is it this many people here? Like, bro, it was deep. I'm like, I like it.
They were
I
staying,
like it.
too, for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Like, back when I played, they stayed to the third quarter, then they left because we were dominating so much. But, like, they stayed the whole time. I'm like, okay, I rock with this Starsville right here. Yeah.
So now let's get down to business. Let's get down to business, boys. Let's get down to business. We had a star-studded game last Saturday, 6 o'clock kickoff.
6 o'clock kickoff.
Right, 56-7. 56-7. The Govs take down the Eagles of Morehead State. We got a few stats for you guys. Chris Parsons, number 3 in 3 we trust, 11 for 14, 199 yards, one away from that big 200, and he got a touchdown to take along with it. And then guess what? Austin Smith, our quarterback from last year, he came in and he held it down. He did 7 for 9, 72 yards, and a touchdown as well. But we had a player. Cortland Simmons, 5 receptions,
yes, sir.
107 yards, 4 rushes, 39 yards, 2 touchdowns. Woo, good googly muggly. He had a day for himself. He outdid himself. I mean, it reminded me of that Alvin Kamara type of video.
Bro,
when you can rush
that multi-tool, that Swiss tool.
Yeah, man.
Saquon too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like he really outdid himself. And then we had 14 different rushers with 429 yards.
Yeah.
49 carries.
429 rushing yards as a team. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's a crazy stat.
That's amazing.
That's literally a crazy stat. Scoring on every single possession, besides the last 2 possessions of the game.
Yeah, I think so.
That is crazy efficiency. Even with Parsons being 11 for 14 at quarterback, that is efficient, bro.
Austin Smith, 7 for 9.
That is efficient, bro.
In a half too for Parsons.
Come on.
Didn't play maybe one down the entire second half. I mean, Austin Smith comes in the third quarter. By the end, you're playing the other 2. Yeah. They're 3rd and 4th string out there, 6 and 14 for majority of that 4th quarter. Would have felt like, honestly,
And who would have thought a running back would have 100 receiving yards? That's Madden.
Come on now. That's what it starts to feel like.
Man.
Someone put it on freshman mode.
And then better yet, Mo, throw up the other graphic because we got more stats to come on by. Let's read it for them, y'all. So not only did we have 14 different rushers, 49 carries, 429 yards, true freshman Isaiah Groves led the Govs with the most carries, 12 carries, 63 yards, and better yet, he got his first collegiate touchdown, y'all. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Hold on. We got more claps to go around the room, so we're going to hold it to the end so they can actually see us and give some applause to these governors who showed out. Julian Randolph III scored his first collegiate touchdown as well, 2 receptions for 47 yards, and then the big boys.
Yes, sir.
The big dogs. They got to working in the trenches, and my man Chandler Curtin scored his first collegiate touchdown. Offensive lineman with that 1-yard tush push. He did it for the big boys. He put them on the map. So, let's get back to us, and let's give him a round of applause, fellas.
Fantastic job all around.
Yes, sir.
I mean, what a game. Hugh, I'm going to go to you first, brother. And we're going to start off with the big boys because I want to shine some light because the offensive linemen, they really don't get a lot of notoriety sometimes. They don't get a lot of notoriety. So, Hugh, how much credit do we give this offensive lineman for not only opening up the lanes, but just making those secondary, third-level blocks and really just opening it up for those explosive plays?
They were all over the Eagles last weekend. They were all over the line. They built the lanes that they wanted for the running backs in the running game. They took the blocks downfield, as you were saying. I mean, 429 yards does not just come from a bunch of guys in the running back room having a great day. Like, you have to have some things go, like, in your favor in order to get a lot of that possible. And we have a fridge, just like Chicago Bears. We have a fridge now. We have Chandler Curtin back there. It's the ultimate weapon, You think about it, like if we had used that play maybe against Georgia, do you think we score that touchdown?
Probably
28-13. Yeah. That's neither here nor there. But 56 points is nothing to sneeze at, and a 429-yard rushing game. The offensive line. A lot of the Curtin was making that play there on that goal line, but he had a lot of good blocks earlier in that game too. They were able. There was one of those highlights we'll see here in a minute. There's a couple of blocks that they get around the edge there in order to let that lane just kind of material on the side. The sweeps on this side, the action we had up the sideline was incredible.
Yeah. Zay, I mean, you want to call, man.
Yeah,
so not only did you get to watch it from one of the best seats in the Fort Terrace Stadium, you got to talk about it. I mean, tell us, man, what did you see, brother?
Man, honestly, I just saw pure domination from the front seven, man. In the trenches, we dominated the trenches. And, we played Morehead State. People are like, you played Morehead State. But to dominate your opponent, no matter who your opponent is the definition of a good football team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You and how Hugh was talking about how they blocking on the perimeter. Perimeter blocks score touchdowns. That's why long runs go for home runs.
Ooh,
You
come on, dog.
Come on, man. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. When you score a run over 50 or 60 yards, that's because blocking downfield is tremendous. Because, you know, the corners and safeties are in pursuit. You got some D linemen that are crazy in pursuit, right?
Yeah.
But if you blocking on that perimeter, bro, nobody getting to the run back. That's how you hit the home run. So, like, I'm just watching. I'm like, these boys getting to that edge. They get to that sideline. And that breakaway speed is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm watching Parsons on his run. I'm like, he might get caught. He's not getting caught.
No.
Bond on his run, he literally went left, cut back behind the line of scrimmage. I went all the way right to the right sideline and scored. I'm like, these boys are legit.
They playing
like,
different.
They're legit, and it's all kudos to the offensive line, to be honest, because nothing happens without them. Like I was telling Dylan earlier, I'm like, man, like that movie 300, Sparta. They the front line. Like, they the front.
Say, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is Sparta. They literally put their life on the line so them boys can have the lanes they need.
Yep.
They handling their blocking schemes. You know, it just goes to show what they did in training camp is paying off. They're binding to the program. They're binding to what Ferris has taught them and his culture. I love it, man. I love it all around.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about these plays. I think it's about time we actually show the people these plays.
Yeah, y'all got to see this.
Yeah, we got to show the people how
Y'all
we
have
really
to
got down. So let's see some of these plays, and let's just show the people how we really dominated against Morehead State. So we see Chris Parsons right here sitting in the pocket. He gets out. You know, he got that ultimate speed, and, you know, get out of there.
Right.
He just turned on that V8 speed.
And you think he caught right here. He's not caught.
No, he not. And if you thinking Chris Parsons is slow,
He's not slow.
You thought wrong. And then we get right back here. Chris Parsons, he hands it off. This is what you was talking about right here.
Talking about.
He cut back, hit the hole, and then look at all
He's
that downfield
gone.
blocking.
Yeah.
Boom.
Look at all that. That space.
You see the
created.
red jerseys by the ball carrier? That means they love their teammates, bro. That's team football, bro. For real.
And now we get here in this red zone action. That's easy. That's
Oh,
easy
that
money.
hole.
Look, that hole
That
was
was a
huge.
beautiful hole on that right
Great
side.
scheme. Is this the interception?
Yeah, and this your side of the ball right here, brother.
No, this might be the. No, this okay. I think that was the sack. I think they called that for a sack. That was a good play though. That was a good pursuit to the football.
Yeah.
And then our running backs, man.
On the perimeter.
They just know how to. They just know, almost like Le'Veon Bell. They patient. They patient back there. They super patient back there. And this is one of my favorite plays right here. Downfield explosion.
Yes, sir.
Boom. Chris Parsons. He love that side. He love that sideline. And here we go.
The fridge.
The fridge. The big boy. The offensive lineman, Mr. Chandler, punching it in. I mean, the environment. You know, I wasn't there, but the environment was just beautiful. And then
Electric.
boom, right down, wide open down the seam, man. It's just. It was too easy almost.
Literally.
It was too. How was it in that booth up there, Zay?
Well, to be honest, it was cold. This is the interception right here. This is what we love. You know, defense wins championships, man. You know, but hey, we love to get a turnover because that's a part of what I said too. Keys to the game: you win a turnover battle, you win the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what we did all game. So the environment at the game was amazing, bro. I'm not gonna, like I said, the crowd, because I'm on the away side. That's what I didn't like. But I'm looking at the crowd. I'm like, dog, like I don't see an empty seat for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is legit. I like this, and the environment was crazy. The fireworks kept going off. So many fireworks went off, we couldn't even get the radio right with our levels and our volumes because it was so many fireworks going off so many times, bro. But like, it was just a great game all around, bro. It really was, and I enjoyed the environment. I enjoyed personally being that close to football again. It's been a while since I've been that close to football, and I enjoy it, man. I really do. I look forward to next weekend when they come back to the fort. And
Yeah.
So, guys, I got another question for y'all before we get into some other business, right? So,
all right.
we've been talking about these chunk plays, the offensive linemen really running downfield, and everyone committed to blocking and open up these lanes. But it's the versatility of how we run because we're not getting explosive 50, 60, 40-yard runs. Sometimes we grind out those 4-yard, 5-yard runs. How unique is the versatility compared to other years we've seen our offense be? Let's start with Zay. Let's start. Because you've actually been in these practices over the times, brother. So how has the offense been so different from when you was here to, even last year what we watched?
To be honest, man, when I was here, our offense was very explosive and our offense was very efficient too. So it's like, honestly, it's about the same. It's about the same level. What I'm looking at. Like Javon Craig, when we won out the conference in 2019, Javon Craig was a quarterback. I see a lot of him and Chris Parsons. Okay, I really do. A dual threat playmaking quarterback who can make plays and get the ball to his playmakers. And so with that, when you have a player like that, a quarterback, a game changer, he's literally a game changer. And then with the run, it was a drive. We started at our own 1. Yeah. We drove all the way down and scored. Like, stuff like that. We converted, what was it, 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 20? It was something crazy we converted. And I'm just like, I'm looking at this offense. I'm like, man, like, this offense is unbeatable. Like, it's unstoppable. Yeah, that's what it looks like. And yes, we're playing Morehead State, but y'all have to understand the efficiency on offense it takes to do what needs to be done. The quarterback making good decisions with the football, offensive lineman block who they need to block, receivers catching the ball. It's part whole. It's not just one person.
Preaching today, man.
That's what football all about. That's why it's 11 guys on the field, man. It's 11 guys on each side of the ball for a reason, dog. It's a team effort. And just looking at that and from comparing it to the past, it looks a lot similar to when we used to break records almost every game. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to break records every game, and you know, with Parsons tying the longest quarterback run, Javon did that. Yeah. Literally, he tied it. I'm looking at it, I'm like, this man look like Javon. Like, literally, same number and all. So, like, it's just crazy to see, man. I'm a proud girl. I'm a proud alum. I can't lie. I'm a proud alum, man.
Hugh, how you feeling, man, this offense?
To piggyback off of Isaiah talking about Parsons, I think seeing Parsons in person finally after 2 games on the road and seeing him here in Clarksville, he's a phenomenal athlete. There was a couple of plays during that game I was worried about him for a little bit. There was one where he like jumped out of bounds. The guy had hit him late. He flips up and then lands into the field goal net. Like the amount of air he could catch on some of that. It was
crazy to see in person. I'm like, dog, you good? Like,
man. He's running out. Yeah, he's running out there with a purpose. But I think the execution of all of it was so satisfying to watch, to be able to put all of that together and to really demonstrate what the team was capable of this year. I think that is the most exciting part for it. That was the 8th most rushing yards we've ever put on in a game in Austin Peay history. It's amazing things all around.
Man, I mean, we did what we supposed to do. That's and like you said, Zay, I don't know if you said it already. I mean, you've been preaching all day. I can't keep up with the gems, brother. But when you play a team, you know, non-scholarship team, like you said, Morehead State, you're supposed to handle business. And that's what we did. We handled business, and we handled it the right way. We handled it with class. We didn't run up the score 75-0. You know, we handled it with class, and we knew, okay, yeah, we supposed to win. Let's dominate. Let's get on to next week. Because next week is one of the biggest games so early in the season. But before we preview that, guys, we have the interview with the head coach of women's volleyball, head coach Evan Amstutz. And let's just hear what he had to say in his first year at the program, building a culture, you know, and I think we're in for a good conversation. So let's see what head coach had to say. Hey everyone, welcome. I am Dylan Walton here with APSU-TV, and you guys know it's crunch time today, and I have a special guest. I have the first-year head coach of women's volleyball, head coach Evan Amstutz. Coach, how you feeling today?
Good so far, because we have another set of matches this weekend, and we're about to hit conference play, so it's a good time.
Today we have a lot to talk about, the volleyball season, how you got to Austin Peay, but I want to start with your background. Who are you? From Toledo, Ohio. Just talk about your early life and how you got into volleyball.
So early on, really I was the only athlete in my family. And so it was kind of a foreign thing. All my family members were either musicians or artists or, you know, passionate about their own thing. My brother is one that he's very passionate about the things that he is, and but I got into sports, and initially I got into all the sports that you have to wear a helmet or you're colliding with other people. So volleyball was kind of something that I didn't really have on my radar until college came around, and got exposed to it early on, and then fell in love with it. Got involved on the women's side at my alma mater as a student assistant, and got the privilege of being a part of that program, and then through the network of getting placed as a graduate assistant, that's really where my professional career took off, is there. And then started in Ohio. A lot of my kind of professional stops were in Ohio before moving down to Texas. My wife and I, so she and I got married, and 2 days later we were in a moving van to go down to Texas. So she still says that I owe her a honeymoon. So I'll be kind of looking for opportunities to do that. Obviously, we have some matches coming up, so we're gonna have to push that. But
you got time. We got some time.
So, but yeah. So then we went down to Texas, spent about 7.5 years down there, and then we got the call to move up to Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay. So you said you got introduced around college. So what was that first experience like playing volleyball? Like, can you tell us a story like how you first fell in love with it, and what was that first experience like for you?
Oh yeah. So one of my roommates was actually a men's volleyball player, and so he said, "Hey, one of our players on our team." They're injured, and so we need an extra guy, and so they're a spring sport, and so they had a little bit of time in the fall to maybe play some open gyms, and I came out for that, and then all of a sudden these guys started teaching me how to play, and voila, before you knew it, here we are.
Now you're
fell in love with it.
Volleyball.
Yep.
So like you said, you started your professional career, you was a graduate assistant and everything. What were some of like your mentors throughout your professional career, starting from assistant, right before you got your first head coaching gig here at Austin Peay? What were some of your mentors, and like what did they teach you, and what did you take from them?
Oh yeah, I owe everything to them, and I wouldn't be where I'm at, certainly, and be in the position that we are if they hadn't poured themselves into my career at whatever point it was. So the first person to really trust me in a big way was Paco Labrador. He was the head coach of Wittenberg women's volleyball. He had brought me along for a national championship run in 2011, taught me a lot about building a culture. And then my graduate assistant stop was with Carolyn Condit, and she was just the ultimate alumni networking, just the way that she would reconnect people who had been a part of her life and been a part of the program. She taught me a lot about that. But there, while I was working there, one of the other assistants, Jesse Ortiz, who's now the head coach at South Alabama, he taught me the nuts and bolts. Yeah, he taught me the nuts and bolts and how the game works. And so a lot about how to train, a lot about how to analyze, using statistics, watching film, everything like that. So he poured himself, into my experience there. Then went to work for Timmy Belize, who's now at University of Dayton, and he taught me about recruiting. And so he taught me about how do we get talent in the door, and that's kind of the barrier of entry. And from there, went to work for Chuck Waddington, who taught me about building a program, about taking a program and putting it in the public spotlight, and how to do that at a very, very high level, how to engage with the community at a very high level, creating a game day environment that's second to none at Angelo State. Then Debbie Humphreys, she taught me about being a champion and the things that are necessary to put things in place so that the kids on your team know exactly what is required of you to hoist a trophy at the end of the year. She's done that she's in her 39th year of coaching college volleyball at the same spot, at the same school. So she's been a mainstay, and so I'm very, very lucky to have worked for her, and in debt to all those people that I just named. Yeah. So yeah, a whole list of people who got me here.
Yeah, I mean, the saying goes, it takes a village to raise a child. So I'm pretty sure it takes a village to raise a coach over there. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
It goes hand in hand. But like you said, Wittenberg, alma mater. For the people, I'm not geographically sound as well. Where is Wittenberg?
It's in the middle of nowhere. I'm not surprised. So it's in Ohio. It's about halfway between Dayton and Columbus. It's in Springfield, Ohio. So,
okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you launched the first men's volleyball program there. Talk about that entire process. How did it happen? How were you able to just start that program and hit the ground running?
Yeah. Well, first things first is they put a lot of trust in building a team in terms of recruiting the amount of athletes that are required to fill the team. So when I got there was one kid who physically could do some things that I thought, wow, that's at the varsity level. And he was already attending class there. In fact, I took a couple classes with him too while I was an undergrad. There was only 2 years of separation between me graduating, leaving for my graduate assistantship, and then getting the call to come back as their head coach. And so when I came back, there was that kid. And then, but you can't play volleyball with just one kid. So we had to hit the ground running. We had to recruit all over the Midwest. We recruited pretty heavily in Ohio. We recruited pretty heavily in the Chicagoland area, into Indianapolis, everything like that. It's all kind of regionally all connected there. But that whole experience was, I would equate it to the perfect warm-up to taking over this program. Because we had to do a lot of recruiting, we had to do a lot of conversation, we had to do a lot of culture building right off the bat. And so I'm ultimately indebted to those guys for saying yes to diving in and being crazy enough to join a team that doesn't exist, and then go from there. And we had a lot of success early on, and so it's a testament to them and how hard they worked, and how well they organized themselves, how well they led themselves. So.
Yeah, and you led me right into my next question. I mean, going from first year coach of a brand new program, and now you come here to Austin Peay, Clarksville, Tennessee. I mean, it's your first year here. We were just talking off camera. You guys really just ramped up middle of July. Just talk about from July to now, and what are some of your initial goals that you have, so early in the season so far?
Yeah, so well, first things first is that we wanted to make sure that the girls knew that this whole journey that we're about to go on is something that we have to go on together. It's not going to be you sitting in your seat, me sitting in mine, and never do we ever collaborate. This has to be something that we collaborate on, and that we know that our best volleyball will happen at the end of the year. Is that early on, we're going to have our moments where we're still trying to figure each other out. Truth be told, of our 16 athletes, 0 of them have ever played together before. And so we have a lot of learning to go. And so we express that early on. We have a lot to learn, not only how we want to maybe attack, how we want to defend some of those basic systems, but then how do we treat each other in moments where things get hard. For every person, it's going to look a little bit different, but we established that early on, is that we will get to that point where we know in crunch time that we know what Susie Q needs, we know what Sally needs, and we're gonna give them that. So since we took over and since we came onto campus July 12th, the girls have been busting their tails in the gym, getting extra reps, in the weight room, committing themselves to learning how to do things together. And then finally, right now, when we're in our competitive season, is responding. So we're learning how to respond. And not only in the match, but also between matches. How do we use those competitive opportunities to gear how we attack the next one? So it's been an evolution of a team. Truly, it has. The team that we have today is completely different than the team that we inherited on July 12th, when they all moved their stuff in and they all met each other for the first time. It's been quite the transformation.
Yeah, I mean, it's barely been 2 months. I think the 2-month mark just passed.
Exactly.
But I'm a big fan of you saying not peaking too early. I'm a big boxing fan. And, in boxing you have training camps and you have 10 to 12 weeks. And, you never want to peak too soon because you might flatten out in the fight. Or, you always want to you want to peak, right before the fight starts. And so you speak perfectly to that. But I also want to hear you talk about the recruitment process. They got here in July, but it took a while for you to pick your team and everything like that. So talk about your recruitment process. Where did you get them from, and how far did you travel? A lot of hotels and all of that stuff. So just talk about it.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, we had to travel all over the place. Truly, we did. So when it came to assembling the team, we wanted to make sure that, one, we were identifying athletes that were still available that could perform volleyball at the highest level. And so that was kind of the barrier of entry. So, all right, you have to be physically able to do the things that we're going to ask you to do. You have to jump really high. You have to swing your arm really fast. You have to have a lot of control. You have to be competitive. When we went through that process, yes, there was the physical things that you can see on film. You can stand on a sideline and you can say, "Yep, she can do what we need her to do." But then there's the other aspect of it too, is they need to be able to fit together culturally. And so we were very clear, and I'm always very clear about what I need out of everybody, especially during the recruitment process of welcoming somebody into our family. And there's 4 values that we really harp on. One is selflessness. You got to make sure that as I'm training next to Dylan, that Dylan is more important than me. And that if I train hard, it is not in service of myself, it is in service of Dylan. So it's selflessness. The next one is loyalty, is making sure that everything that I do, everything that I say, the ways that I operate in and amongst the team, the way that I operate outside of the team is all expressions of loyalty to the group. And so that's huge for me because I truly view the team as a two-way street. I will be loyal to them. I'll speak life into them. I'll put the resources in their hands and put them in situations where they're going to learn. The goal is for them to be loyal back and for them to be loyal to each other. And so that's the goal there. Then they have to be competitive. They have to love to compete. One of the things in our practices we keep track of, it's over half of our drills. We keep track of who wins and who loses. And so, yes, there's some learning spaces, but man, isn't learning fun when you're keeping track of the score at the same time. So they're all, they're pretty feisty when it comes to who wins and who loses and how we break the ties. And there's always arguments over, no, she served when she wasn't supposed to, so we should win. And I mean, they just want to win. And that's one of the requirements to be here. So you got to be competitive. And the last thing is that you have to be committed to pursuing the mastery of your craft. So you have a craft, I have a craft, and so my craft comes in the way of leading a team, organizing them, inspiring them, taking care of them. That's my craft. And me pursuing the mastery of that means that every day I'm doing something that gets me better at serving the team in those ways. And the same thing for them, that they have all different positions. And so it's just like with football. You wouldn't ask your quarterback to try to become the best blocker. That's the lineman's job. Well, for them, their craft is being an excellent collegiate volleyball player and an excellent student. And so every day they need to commit themselves to something that takes them from point A to point B, to get them better at what their craft is. And so that might come in the way of extra reps. That might come in the way of the attention that they pay to the activities and some of the things that us as coaches were exposing them to. So, so truly, those things, we express them in the first phone call. We talk about those things and we talk about what that means for the team. And if they're on board, then it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to say, yep, that's exactly what I'm looking for in a college program. So, but we had to travel all over the place. And you see it on our roster. We have a diverse roster. That's always something that we're going to celebrate. We have a roster from all over the place: California, Florida, the Midwest, right here in Tennessee. We got a couple girls from Nashville, right down the street. We have girls from everywhere, and we'll continue to do that because the different backgrounds and the different perspectives that a team can have, that's going to be our superpower at the end of the year. Is that we're going to have 16 different ways of solving problems. And we're not going to just have one voice in the room. We're going to have many voices in the room to offer advice. And so that's something that I think is truly special about the team.
I mean, like you said, this team is brand new. They're learning each other. Everything is starting to come together in terms of the summer work, the pre-work before the actual season. But the season hasn't been everything that you wanted to start off to be, which is perfectly fine because you also said you want to peak at the right time. But what are some of those areas that you and your team want to improve on as you start getting to the meaty stretch of the season? Because you guys have been on the road basically since the season started. I think you opened up maybe the first 2 weeks at home, and then you've been on the road ever since.
And we're going to continue to get on the road for the next couple of weeks. So the girls will know their way around a DoubleTree, and they'll know exactly where where to find everything in a hotel room. But so some of the things that we're training right now is starting faster. And so we want to start our matches faster. We want to start our matches a little bit more aggressively. We know that I will never ask them to be perfect, but I always want them to be aggressive. And so through the first few weeks of our season, that's been something that's missing, is that in the first set, us starting, not perfect, I wouldn't ask for that, but starting really hyper-aggressive from the get-go so that we can throw the first punch. The next piece of that is that, especially especially when we're down a couple points, is to make sure that we're able to manufacture some runs of 3. So runs of 3 points. All right, can we, if the other team is serving, can we side out of this situation and then have our server stay back there at least twice? There's 3 points right there. And so we've been manufacturing situations of us accomplishing exactly that. There's some offensive balance that we want to make sure that we're striking, is that we want to be able to rely from every single position being able to score at a certain level. Once again, I'm not going to ask them to be perfect. I'm never going to ask a kid, hey, Dylan, I need you to be an All-American tonight. I would never say, yeah. I would never say that. I just need you to play well. And knowing if you play well and the other 5 girls around you are playing well, then we're going to get the result that we want. It's when you don't get the result that you want, it's usually 1 or 2 players that are playing below and that everybody else is playing solid. When you win, everybody's playing solid, and maybe 1 or 2 have a night, you know? And that just happens naturally. It's something that, yes, you can prepare yourself for that, but sometimes as the match goes on, you'll pleasantly surprise yourself with how well you play. So we have some work to do in terms of starting matches quickly. Our practices, we've demanded that is a piece of it, that we start practices with a lot of focus. And then also the being able to go on runs and being able to, especially when we're in the position where we have some room to catch up, to execute at a high level. So those are some big pieces. I don't want to bore you with any of the analytics and
it's fine.
How each rotation performs and how we're tinkering around with our offense. But yeah, those are the big overarching things.
No, it's absolutely fine. Me, myself, a lot of my coworkers like to say it, before I get into that question, of course, but they like to say, once I get into a new sport, I'm sold. And I've been watching volleyball now for about, I want to say 2 to 3 years. So, I know about
not long enough.
Yeah, not long enough. But I know about some of the formations and the rotations. So I know a little piece. I watched the Pitts, the Louisvilles, the Nebraskas, the
Great
Wisconsins. Yeah, I know a little bit. The Penn States. So I know a little bit. But last question, before we wrap up, first year here. Short-term goals, long-term goals. What are some of those that you have for this program?
Yeah, short-term is establishing a culture and establishing these are the standards of how we operate within a group. And so the health of a team is really important to me, and the health of how we care for each other, the health of how hard we work, the health of how we use the resources around us to the maximum really matters to me. And then the kind of other short-term goal is that every weekend we can make a checkbox and we can say, all right, we have gotten better in this area and there's no doubt about it and we're not turning back. So we're checking boxes as we go. The long-term goal is to make sure that we all know that we're here to pursue championships. And there are building blocks in place that we've already set to make sure that long-term we're recruiting the athletes. Our 2026 class is ridiculous. Our 2027 class, if you can believe it, we're done even with 2027. We've been recruiting talent, the best talent from the area. We've been recruiting once again nationally as well, is to make sure that with that influx of talent that we are competing for championships using the culture as the diving board to spring into it. So short term, making sure that we are a tight-knit group that cannot be broken. We know exactly what it takes. Long term is piecing the performances together to make sure that it's not only realistic, but it's expected that we're going to be in the fight every single year.
Okay, I like it. I'm excited. Last year was it was a dark year for the Austin Peay women's volleyball team. So I'm glad to see we're getting into a new direction, a fresh direction. But Coach, I appreciate you for taking the time to talk to us today. It's been fantastic. I think one of my favorite conversations so far of the year. I'm like interview 3 or 4 in, so this is one of my favorite. But I'm Dylan Walton here with Austin Peay women's volleyball head coach Evan Amstutz, and that's all we have. So we're going to get back to the show. Thank you guys.
Let's go Peay.
Great conversation. Well, head coach Evan, I appreciate him for taking the time out to talk to us today. He's a busy man. They've been on the road all month of September, and they have a few more road games to go. So, I mean, I know he's probably tired of sleeping in hotel beds and taking bus rides and plane rides. I know he's ready to get back to his family. So I appreciate him for taking the time out of his busy schedule to sit down and talk to us. But there's bigger things on the agenda today. There's bigger things to be talked about today. Because guess what? Not only is there football on the table, ladies and gentlemen, it's the number 14 team, Abilene Christian, versus the number 18 team, Austin Peay State University Governors, on the road in Texas. It's the first UAC conference game of the season, and boys, I think we got a good one. I think we got a good one. So look, people didn't know. We was ranked a little bit last week after Georgia, number 22, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about this before we open up a can of worms here. Stan Beckton, I don't know if you guys know him. I follow him on Instagram. I don't know if he's a real big deal, but he's a big deal now. Because guess what? He has a power 10. He has us ranked at number 7.
Ooh. Wow.
Number 7 in the FCS.
I love that.
Number 7, y'all.
I love that.
I love that too.
Huge.
I think it's cool because, like, I don't know, it's nice that we're getting some sort of momentum now nationally as the season has gone on. Maybe there's a couple more games. We'll see how that works, especially this week, right? This is the week. Is that number 7 kind of spot validated? We could test that out immediately in Abilene against the Wildcats. But I think it's big for the program as a whole. I mean, you got your new head coach in the second year. People around the country are starting to take notice of you. People around the country are getting maybe a little scared. I mean, 56 points. We've got I mean, the rushing attack looks complete. There's a lot of good teams in the FCS this year, and we'll see some people, some of the pretenders fall off here probably the next couple of weeks.
What you call them? Pretenders?
The pretenders.
That's real.
The pretenders. The pretenders will fall away from the contenders category here in the next couple of weeks. It's just how it goes. But as the season has started, I mean, there's not. It feels justified to get a kind of number 7 ranking nationally. I would like to see what this team could do against a Montana State, Illinois State. And later in the year, when we have a Tarleton State, that's going to be a very tough matchup. But, you know, Abilene Christian is a perfect kind of like way to like work your way in there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to ring the show for it.
Yeah,
you got to ring the show for it. Talks about.
Ring?
I mean, you got both. You got both of them. You got both of them.
I got both of them, man.
But the second most important ring.
The second most important. But talk about it, man. I mean, I'm not sure. I wasn't here. I was still in high. I'm not gonna do you like that, bro. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, bro. I apologize.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm a married man now. I'm a little up there in age, bro.
But honestly, bro, I'm not sure if you guys were ranked at the time when you won, but if y'all were, just talk about holding that rank, wearing it on your chest, wearing it on your shoulder, wearing it wherever, and on the practice field. Talk about holding that rank and keeping it going for not only the next game, but for the rest of the season into the playoffs.
Man, so funny story, bro. We used to fight for a ranking so bad because of how Austin Peay used to be when I first came. And, you know, we used to lose so much that they didn't believe in ranking us. Like, my first year here, we won 8 games. Like, and I think we went, I forget where we went. I did. But I know we won 8 games. And the team that led the conference, they won 8 games too, so we were tied. And they didn't let us in the playoffs.
Ooh.
Yeah, they didn't let us in the playoffs. So then next year, I think we kind of dropped. That was Will Hilly's second year. We kind of dropped. I think we won like 6 games, I think. But the next year, that's when we won the conference, and we were fighting for a ranking for so long during that season. But I think we had got ranked. I forgot what it was, and we had ended up losing to TSU, bro. They was unranked.
Tennessee State.
Yes.
Oh wow.
We ended up losing to them, bro.
Yeah.
It was one of those games. We was up 10 going into the 4th, and then they just found a way to come back and win, bro. And that loss right there really solidified our season, our ranking that season, really. So it dropped us out the rankings, but it's important to like really have that because it's low key an intimidation factor. Like when another team come play you, they like, dang, they rank. Like some of them players, if they not competitive, they not dogs. They like, oh, they rank. They gonna wear us out. You know what I'm saying? You already in their head, so like it's important to keep that rank. And being nationally ranked is very, it's a great honor, to be honest, because you're nationally ranked. I mean, the people across the nation are recognizing the talent of your team, how dominant your team is, and they recognize to the point where it's like, yeah, we'll give y'all a ranking. Like, and to be ranked 22 and now 18, and then what you say about dude ranking us number 7?
Yeah, Stan Beckton at
that
his
is
power
crazy.
10 were number 7.
We've never been ranked that high. So it's like, oh yeah, like it's legit, bro. It really is, and I enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. I love being a part of it now, being on the radio side. Hugh, you put a bad taste in my mouth when you said Montana State.
Oh yeah,
because that's what we lost to in the playoffs. But you know, I hope they go to Montana State.
I hope so too.
You know, I can't say what I want to say.
And good bump on the way.
They get this work, man.
I think a big testament of it, why we're ranked now, though, is because of those teams back then that you were a part of. It's because before, you know, Austin Peay wasn't much of a football school known to even the FCS world, let alone the football world. But now you're starting to see them a couple of times in a row give some like SEC teams a bit of a tough game. And then, of course, they won a couple conference championships a couple years ago. And now
those co-champs, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that?
Yeah. And now you're here and you're 1-0 in FCS play again. You've got the whole season ahead of you. You might as well think, oh, Austin Peay's back now.
Yes, sir.
They've rebuilt, they've retooled, and they have arrived with the new man in charge.
Come on now. Yeah.
New man in charge. Yes, sir.
And then in 3 we trust. But last year, you know, we lost in a nail biter. 35-34. I mean, it was one of the best games I think we've played all season. And to go from that absolute shootout to now, and we lost at home. So now we're going on the road on enemy turf. Number 14, number 18, I think is going to be a doozy. But the Abilene Christian Wildcats 1-2, right? We got a little graphic here. This matchup is going to be great. I mean, they've lost to Tulsa, they've lost to TCU, but I think their biggest win comes from SFA, Stephen F. Austin, and they won at home 28-20. I think this is going to be one of those games because, I mean, Tulsa and TCU, they're big programs. We know TCU, if I'm not mistaken, in the Big 12.
Yeah.
They were just in the national championship a few years ago.
Yeah. Solid coach team.
That's what I'm saying. They're well disciplined, well machine. But I mean, they have some players, and we can run it down before we really get to talk about it. I mean, Stone Earl, the quarterback, so far in the season, 655 yards, 2 tutties, only thrown an interception. But the 2 biggest stats that stood out to me, guys, he's been sacked 10 times.
Yeah.
Already. 3 games.
In 3 games,
3 games been sacked 2 times. But not only that.
What is it, the Minnesota Vikings from Monday night?
So Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Really.
But not only that, guys, he controls almost the entire offense. I mean, he's rushed already this season 41 times, but only 90 yards.
He's not getting nowhere.
He's not.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of QB.
He's running for his life.
Yeah, it's a lot of
He's running for his life.
So he's got a lot of nicks, knacks, and bruises on his shoulders. But one thing I have noticed when I looked at his stats, guys, he's increased his passing yards each game, about 40, 50, 60 yards. So, and I mean, they have 3 receivers over 100 yards already.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Over 100. I mean, you have Gibson with 10 receptions, 155 yards. You have Dudley, 6 receptions, 108. Then you have J.J. Henry, 13 for 107. So that's a good, you know, when you're a quarterback and you got three guys on the outside that you can trust to catch it, not only catch it, but yards after catch.
Yeah.
That's really big. And then the running backs, man. Running backs is a problem. I mean, they have Vaughn for 49 carries, $189, 2 tutties. Then they have Banks Jr. 30 for $132 and a tutty. I mean, this offense seems pretty legit.
Banks Jr., who also had 105 yards in the game last week against TCU. So, yeah.
So my thing is, guys,
a little bit of a rushing problem.
It's gonna be, and we're gonna talk about it. But Zay, I want to start with you. You know, you've made it to the top. You've been in the league, and you've seen what it takes to make it to the league. And we have a good secondary. So my question to you to start off is, they have Abilene Christian, 3 receivers, over 100 yards already. Like I said, Gibson, Dudley, and Henry. How important will it be for the secondary to communicate and show some discipline this week on the field?
Well, a lot of that got to do with coaching first.
Okay.
You got my boy Rod in there.
Yep.
My boy Rod used to play with me, man. He's a great defensive back mind. He's a great coach, great leader. he gonna have them boys prepared. If I know Rod, he gonna have them boys prepared because when you go to a game like this where receivers are so substantial to the offense and so essential to the offensive success, you have to take them out the game. You have to take into consideration that they are a major part of the offense and that they must be stopped at by any means necessary. But also, you can't forget about that run game because if they can run the ball, then it's going to be hard to guard the pass because they can hit you with a play action, RPO. The offense just opens up, right? So I feel like this is going to be a major test for our defense in general, right? Because we held MTSU to 0 for 12 on third down conversions. Yep. Crazy stat, right? We held Georgia to 28 points. We talking about the Georgia Bulldogs. We held them to 28 points. And so I feel like this is going to be a major test for our defense, our front seven, and our back end to see what we're really capable of because this seems like one of the top offense in FCS for what it sounds like. Yep. Their stats, everything coming off their stat line. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm so ready to see this game, dog.
It's going to be a good one. And Hugh, like you said, what you say,
105 last week against TCU.
So my question is, our run game, we talked about it in the recap against Morehead State. Run game has been phenomenal through 3 games. Yeah. Do you expect to control the tempo on the ground against Abilene Christian defense? And the crazy part is they held us to 107 rushing yards last year. Yeah. When we had 400, over 400 last week, and then they held us 107 last year. So how do you think the run game goes for us next week?
I think it's going to be better than last year for sure. I think I now this year, especially that we have sort of the second year in the system under Ferris, it feels like the running game is a lot better at going into Game 4 than it may be going into Game 4 last season. And so I think because of that, we're going to be able to control the game a lot better than normal. I think also that game against Georgia, I think now was a big preparation for this game, honestly, because we were having to defend against the SEC talent and the running backs there and having to get onto the bigger guys, but trying to hold them down and minimize that running game's damage, you can now try and apply a lot of what you tried that week against Abilene Christian, where you're not going to see terribly many guys getting drafted into the NFL out of Abilene. So
respectfully,
respectfully, of course, yes. But I think because I'd like to see. I think it's with us coming as close as we did last year, I think this season that little extra bit of revenge factor coming in, I think
on the road.
Yeah, everyone's hungry on this campus to beat Abilene. So hopefully that happens and hopefully we control it. But I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic.
And then my big thing is that, and this is, and we talked about it off camera, Zay. I'm a big critic. If you've been watching CrunchTime for as long as I've been on here, I'm a big critic because I watch a lot of sports and I watch how people talk about sports, but I know the work, the effort, not only that the players, the coaches, the family, the equipment. I know a lot of people put a lot of energy into a weekly football game. So that's why I'm a harsh critic, because if you're giving so much time and so much effort to a game of football, I expect everything to be remotely pretty decent. I understand every week not going to be the greatest week of all time. I know that. I know it's going to be bad games, bad moments, bad decisions. But that's why I am a harsh critic. But like I said to you off camera, Zay, this team has showed me they about that action.
Yes, sir.
They are about that action wholeheartedly, and they are ready to fight tooth and nail to not only get this game back, but get it in a dominating fashion. I mean, last year, we don't have the same team from last year to this year. We don't have the same team at all. Yeah. So not only do we have a completely different team with core pieces, we have better skilled players at skilled positions. Yeah. Our DB room is full of dogs. Our quarterback is the Rottweiler, the lone wolf.
Literally.
He's like, Jacob from Twilight. He shapeshifts whenever he needs to. He's a true dog.
That's a great analogy.
The offensive linemen go after it and running back by committee. It looked like, I don't want to speak too early. I don't want to jinx anything, but we're looking pretty solid. And that's all I'm saying. We're looking pretty solid all around.
Yes, sir.
And if we only came 1 point short from a completely different team, I know it's a different year, a different season, all of that. But if we came 1 point short, I know we're going to get down to what it get down on Saturday in Texas with the bright lights at nighttime. Austin Peay versus the Wildcats. It's game time, y'all. It's game time, and I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready. Because when it's 14 versus 18, I feel like this should have been on Amazon Prime.
Hey.
It should have been on Amazon Prime, y'all. But quickly, before we get out of here, y'all, quick question. The quarterback. That quarterback, he's the engine that runs that offense. Quickly, give me some words on how do you think we can stop this quarterback on the defensive side of the ball?
I definitely think our defensive backs are probably the toughest. It might be the toughest room that he's faced yet. You know, with consideration to TCU but I think having that his completion percentage though is at 70.7% on the year so far this year, 58 of 82. There's a pretty I think. It's going to be another good test for us, too, as a defense as well. Having a quarterback who can fire the ball where it needs to. I think it's just a lot. It's like what's going to win, an unstoppable force or an immovable object, you know? Something's got to give there, but and someone's going to go home unhappy. But, you know, I think I don't think Stone Earl has had to face a defensive back room quite like this one yet, from what I've seen so far from Austin Peay. I need to go watch a little bit more film on Stone Earl, but I think he'll be all right. His quarterback rating right now is 143.4 on the year too. So he's a gunslinger. He's a game manager and a sheriff. So it'll be tough.
Mr. Defense.
Mr. Defense, man. You know I love my defense. The recipe for success, bro, when you playing a quarterback who the whole offense runs through him, you got to fluster him. You got to get him uncomfortable in the pocket. That's the first thing. And like you said, this probably be the toughest DB room he played. You know, kudos to TCU and Tulsa. But I honestly feel like our DBs may be a lot more disciplined than them. And that's because of the coaching that they have. I know Rod, and he's played with me. And when we played, we were locked down. We would play teams, they'd be like, y'all. Bro, we would play teams, they were like, dog, y'all different. But it comes down to disciplined DBs. They make it rough on quarterbacks. But we got to get some pressure. We got to make sure we keep them contained in the pocket. Because from what you said, what was it, 41 carries?
That he has
for 90 yards? He's already
tutties.
running for his life, right? So that means his offensive line ain't doing a lot of blocking. And for what I saw this past Saturday, we got a defense line that get after that quarterback. And if we can get to him fast and early and fluster him early, quick, he can't get the ball to them explosive receivers. He going to have to hand it off. And then once he have to hand it off, we stop the run. Now they got to make up trick plays to score. Now we're really going to win. So I'm expecting, honestly, a dominant performance. I expect our defense to really step up and show what they can do. And I expect our offense to really put their foot on their neck, walk down to Texas with all their heat, wipe the sweat off.
Come on.
And get to work. Bump on the way.
Yeah, bump on the way. Put them boots and spurs on, and we gonna get down and dirty, baby. I can't wait. And
leave them there in the desert.
Yeah, and then the best part of it, man, Jeremy get to hop on that plane, get to hop on that bus.
Yeah, man.
So we should get that exciting news when Jeremy, you know, he gonna be on the bus. Jeremy gonna get a little hype video or something. I know he gonna get something, man.
Get us right.
But he gonna have everything for us, I believe, or a good story to tell or something. Because man, we gonna get that dub, and it's gonna be a beautiful day out here in Clarksville, y'all. But before we get out of here, let's look at the rest of the schedule for the week. Austin Peay sports is all over the place this week, right? So this upcoming Thursday, we have women's soccer versus Bellarmine. That will be tomorrow at Morgan Brothers Field at 6 o'clock Central Time. 6 o'clock Central Time. Then Friday, headed into the weekend, we have women's tennis, like I mentioned earlier in the news. That is to be announced at a time. We'll know it will be on the courts right across from the Foy Center. So if you know where the Foy is, look to your left. Boom, they go to tennis courts. And then women's volleyball is back on the road at Bradley. They will be in Bowling Green, Kentucky, 9:30 in the morning. They'll be there all weekend long. And then, boom, we head on to Saturday. Oh, good God Almighty, we head to Saturday. Men's and women's cross country. They will be in Nashville for cross-country tournament. They'll be running their lives away and trying to come home with some good placements. Volleyball, they have back-to-back. They play Western Kentucky at Western Kentucky, then boom. the biggest game of them all. You know, we got cross country in the morning, volleyball in the afternoon, and then we hit the night right. We hit the town and we get down.
Yes,
Austin
sir.
Peay versus Abilene Christian.
Yes, sir.
7 o'clock, first UAC conference game of the season, boys. It's been a good show.
Yeah.
Just want to do it one more time, y'all. Social media, please follow us on all social media accounts. Austin Peay, APSU_Sports Network, Instagram, Twitter. Follow Austin Peay TV on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever you can find us, you need to follow us because we got everything coming about. We have CrunchTime. We have a new show where Jeremy Days was the host and was it Tailgate? Tuesday Tailgate, where we're covering local high school sports in the Meet the Gov segment. And best believe our man here, Isaiah Norman, was the one on there. So I appreciate you guys for listening. It's been a great week, and I can't wait to watch some more great athletic sports from the good old Austin Peay State University. But to end it out, I am Dylan Walton.
Isaiah.
I'm Hugh Wheeler. Thank you very much.
Yep, and this has been Crunch Time, episode 2 of season 11. We thank you guys, and we will see you guys next week.